Mm, mm. God damn, dude. Look at the July contract, man. Look at the July. I'm trading the wrong contract, apparently. Look at the July contract compared to. Yeah, so we can expect for this contract, the March contract, to catch up with this contract. We can definitely expect that. This fucking gap up, dude. Look at the. That's mm, Hmm. We should have an interesting week. It should be interesting. I think we got FOMC this week. If I'm not mistaken, we have FOMC this week as well. But we'll look at all that. I'm gonna input this data from the CFTC. I'm gonna input this in. We're gonna talk about it. Uh, I mean, it's not extremely bullish, and it's not extremely bearish. It's about the same. The numbers, the same numbers that we seen last week. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay. All right. Still trying to find that right color for this. Something that I'm gonna pay attention to when I'm actually in the heat of the moment. I mean, look at. I guess let me look what Zion looks like, because I'll tend to ignore certain colors, but at the same time, I don't want it to be too bright, and the colors clash against each other. Mm, mm, Point of control. I don't even think I got point of control visible. Yep, I don't got it visible. Mm. And we'll see how this one looks. All right. All right, man. Mm. I'm not gonna pay attention to green. I'm not gonna pay attention to green. All right. I'm just gonna keep it. I'll just keep it. Silver. I'll just keep it silver. Okay. I'll just keep it silver. Hey, what's up, Michael Lewis? You asked me how I came up with the 900 tick chart because I used to trade the micro Nasdaq, and the micro Nasdaq trades the I trade an $1,800 tick chart on the micro Nasdaq. The micro Nasdaq has way more volume than the Nasdaq, so I just trade the Nasdaq at half the size. And this is the reasoning why. The full mini Nasdaq is only trading at 26,000 contracts. The micro is trading at 92,000. So I just trade half the size of how much I trade with the micro Nasdaq. I still actually reference the micro Nasdaq before I actually take the trade on the mini Nasdaq. God damn. No, they can keep their no, they can keep that account. All right. So I was in this short originally in my funded account. I hated closing this thing early, but that consistency rule, man. I hated closing this thing, but I can't make I can't make too much in the account. I made the maximum daily profit, which was like $500, and I hated every second closing it. And now, even though I hit the consistency, my mind is telling me to go back in for some more, knowing that I will go over my consistency if I do, or risk the $500 that I just made, which would be stupid. But I took this short. I closed it at 500, and now I'm just sad seeing it play out from the highs. Yeah, I saw this double top, and this is the account I'm talking about. Made $500 tonight, and I just hated closing it. I just absolutely hated closing it, man. It killed me to close that damn thing, but um, mm. Because I knew that we was going to at least get back down to this trend line at least, and I was in short up here at 622. So it killed me closing this one early. But we'll see if they actually buy it at the bottom of this trend line. We'll see. I mean, we could see a break. But now looking at this hourly, I mean, the hourly chart was bullish, is no longer bullish. Maybe we could see a deeper pullback here. We could. I mean, the ES ain't gonna lie to us. The ES has a nasty red candle on the hourly so far. I mean, unless they do some volume, which I doubt, or and do some heavy buying in the ES, which I doubt. I do think that we can potentially see some more room for downside. I mean, we got the room. Don't be fooled. We did have this massive run back up on Friday, but as I was talking to Smith about this, uh, we ran it into some supply on Friday, and that could have been the market's objective. So, hey, what's up, man?
Go brush your teeth.
So, Michael Lewis. So, hold on. What are you switching from? Are you switching from like ES or something? Like, what are you switching from? You saying that you're making a switch to Nasdaq? I'll say this, man. I'll be the first to tell you that the Nasdaq is not an instrument that you trade if you're not familiar with it at all. Y30. She is toxic as hell. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually just gonna do this. I really don't want to. I really don't want to do that. Ah, shit. Let me make sure I do this first. Uh, hmm. Yeah. Actually, let me not do that. Yeah, with the micro Nasdaq. So let me kind of give you and let me kind of explain it. So tick charts are based off of
I'm about
transaction.
to cut my hair here in a minute. And then take a shower.
I don't know. Hey, Smith, I don't know if you know if you're not muted or not. You might be talking about something
What?
personal. You talk about something personal?
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay,
done.
okay, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't want you to say something and you might think that you're muted. Um, so tick charts is based off of volume and transactions. Every candle is based on every. So in this case, 900 ticks every 900 transactions. Uh, like I shared earlier, the micro Nasdaq has way more volume than the mini Nasdaq. So having a 900 tick chart on the micro Nasdaq, I mean, you could trade it, but it's better to have a bigger tick size, 18 2K size on the micro Nasdaq. 900 is perfect for the minis because it's only, I mean, let me show this to you again, and just in case you missed it. There's only 26,000 contracts being traded right now versus 94,000 on the micro Nasdaq. That's why you need a bigger tick size with the micros. Hey, what size do you trade on the Nasdaq, Smith? Hey, I should have took that.
Moisturize, brush your teeth, moisturize your face, and just right there. Stop licking it. I know, don't do any of that.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That does look like a short, man.
Kind of a
But
night night.
that looks like kind of like a long too. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do, man. This is what I'm gonna do.
What?
This is what I'm going to do. I mean, because I mean, they could just drop this, but then at the same time, they could pop it too. All right, we're at the bottom of that trend line. But then they sold it. We're at the trend line though.
Brush.
Actually, I don't know. Okay.
You to do what?
Yeah, that's exactly why. That is exactly why. I didn't realize how much money I was giving away in commissions. That's so if you're trading 3, 4, maybe even 5 micros, that's cool. I mean, it's not that it's expensive in terms of because one mini contract costs $5 round trip. Uh, I think a micro costs 174 per contract round trip. So if you got like 3, 4, 5, 10, I mean, you're giving a lot away in commissions. And it seems like that's very popular amongst these prop firms to have the micros to kind of get you to they I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can trade micros, but they're very expensive. And if you're trading 10 micros, you might as well just hop into one mini. But I mean, if you're splitting them up and taking profits here and there, then I mean, all I know is that once I was looking at how much money I was paying in commissions, I just switched back to minis. You know what, man? I, I would hate for this thing to bounce and leave me, but honestly, I really I'm not confident in this one. I'm really not. I'm not confident in this one. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of reduce my risk on this. I'll give this like 10 points. Yeah, I give us 10 points of risk, 11 points of risk on this one. I'm not necessarily confident in this one because based on where they rejected price at, I mean they are kind of holding this trend line, but I'm not confident in it. I mean, honestly, if I can get kind of break even a little bit of profit, I'll probably move my stop up. Yeah, I don't like how that looks. I mean, they have to really just pop this thing up. Probably what I should have did was just only trade like one contract right now.
Blow your nose. No.
Mm. All right, so Steven said 592 fill. All right, that's basically at the bottom of that trend line. You looking for 615? Yeah. I mean, if this does push up, we should at least get that. I mean, unless they crash through this take the trade. Unless they crash through this. I mean, so I mean, the one thing that I necessarily don't care for right now is that wick. But I mean, we do got this support trend line coming up. It does look like they're buying off of it. So yeah, we could get them buying. All right. Well, I guess I was worried about nothing. Perfect trend line bounce. I mean, that thing is basically perfect right there off that trend line. So I mean, let's see how far this thing can go. Oh crap. Probably what I have to do is this. What I have to do is this. Let's see how far this thing can go. 666, 9666, 19666. Hmm. I mean, I doubt it though. I mean, I doubt it. I doubt it. Hmm. Yeah, I'll just leave it right there. I'll leave it right there. I'll leave it right there. Yeah, I'll just leave it right there. I mean, if we get that, then that's fine. I'll take that. You say you're gonna add if it comes back to 600? I mean, if we see a push here, I mean, that's gonna actually be a good thing.
Sick. I don't know. I'm not the keeper of your water bottle. It's probably downstairs. Probably.
Yeah, I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. All right. All right. So, I mean, if this is going to be a true trend, we should break this high right here. If this is a true trend, we should break that high. I can't do that. I can't. All right. So, I mean, I got different colors on the screen: green, yellow, red, gray, green. Mm,
I don't wanna live a lie.
mm. I mean, that's not bad, but I probably won't even pay attention to that color. I mean, I need something to pay. It's gonna stick out even if I'm not paying attention to it. But I don't want it to be red. Hmm. I mean, I guess we'll see how that looks. Hmm. It's like a peach color or something like that, but it's still red. Don't necessarily. It can't be red. I don't want it to influence. I don't want to be green or red because I'll kind of just
Yeah.
influence.
What's wrong with you, man? Go to sleep. Okay, go to sleep. Get off, Mr. Fellow.
Okay, I mean that doesn't look. I
Yes,
mean
I
that's not
love
too
y'all
bad.
too.
That's
It'll
not
be
too
fine.
bad.
I'll be
I
back
think
Saturday for the party. We're
it's
gonna
not too
party it
bad.
up.
All right, so let's see if we can get that first target at least. Yeah, I'm gonna move it up to this value area high right here. Why not? 640.
Three at least. I mean, at least has to. I'm gonna
You said what?
fully respect you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey Smith, can you hear me? Smith, can you hear me? Okay, I don't think you can hear me.
be at 40. That's so.
Smith, can you hear me? I mean, shit. Okay, I don't think you can hear me.
Give me one.
$800 though, y'all can keep that shit. Y'all can keep that account. That account has served its purpose. Okay, but all right, man. So I mean, let's get into this, man. Let's like really get into this. So I mean, the reason why I took this trade is because I mean, technically, I mean, we did get this big move down. Uh, really, what's happened? What I see a two-legged pullback into support. I see a two-legged pullback into a previous area of support. And you could just tell because they just tapped this area perfectly, and we saw a reaction from the bulls. They made this higher low, and then they broke the high, which signifies that we're trending. But I mean, my only concern about this trade, my only concern is that we did kind of tap into this area right here. You can see that from this area, the bears were able to knock price down into this area of supply. And then we came right back into it, and then we saw price come down. But like I said, I mean, the bulls are holding this. So as long as they hold this right here, then I don't think we have anything to worry about. But I mean, as soon as we see the bears break through this trend line, as soon as we see that candle closing underneath this trend line like that, that's when I would be concerned. I mean, I only got like I think I may have moved it down. I may have got like maybe a 15-point stop on this. I'm not necessarily too confident in this one, but uh, it does look like I am trading in the right direction. So, and those that are long, at least for right now, uh, these slower markets, they're definitely kind of hard to.
Just shoot for 40 and we'll call it good.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to. I don't want to say use the word difficult. It could be challenging to kind of pick the direction because it
Silly.
does this. Because like I said, I was in the short, but this thing played around with me before it got that drop though. And initially, I thought I was on the wrong side of it because I was like, man, we got that drop and then they bought it. And you see that wick, and I was like, damn, I might be on the wrong side of this short. But I was like, you know what? No, I'll just stay short because it just doesn't make sense for this thing to not go down short. And good thing I stuck with my initial thesis and was able to get that little $500 profit. But mm, okay, that's good. Cool. All right, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're about like what 8 9 points, 8 points away from the first TP. Am I gonna probably just drop that right there? Actually, no. I think I gotta like do that. I mean, if we get a break above this line, so this blue line is a line that we marked out from last week. This blue line right here was a line that we marked out from last week. That was this pivot high right here. Let me turn this off so y'all guys can see it. It was that pivot high. Last week, if you had this pivot high marked out on Friday, you could have made a lot of money off of this line. You made a lot of money off this line if you had it marked out. And I'm gonna show you why. Look how the market reacted around this line right here. The bears were trying to aggressively break below this line. I mean, the first test of this line, you got a nice, I mean, how many points is that? I mean, you took some drawdown, obviously, but what is that? 630, about 589. What is that? 680, 589. Shit, that was a nice 40-point play right there. But them coming back up and finding support literally at that line, you caught this move, but you can just see that the bears were just trying to break and hold this line all week and just got squeezed out of their position. Once I saw this on Friday, I was like, yeah, this is definitely going up. And sure enough, this thing just squeezed all the bears that were aggressively selling this. Now, if you were a bear, I mean, you made money. I mean, if you sold the highs, I mean, you made money. And if you took profits at this low, I mean, you made money. And if you just traded this range, I mean, you made money. But for the aggressive bears that was looking for a break below this, and then you can see that how the Nasdaq can trick you into thinking, or it will use your bias against you. Because honestly, I was looking for this. I mean, good thing I was already done for the day. So I was just looking at the market. I wasn't necessarily trading it, but I was like, man, I wonder if what's going to happen when price breaks it. And you can see that they initially got it and then they got squeezed out. They got it, squeezed. They got it, and then they got super squeezed. So I think I told y'all guys to mark that all on your charts on Friday. And we can see that 630, this area right here is playing significance again because look at where the market broke. Once we got that opening, they broke this level. They came right back perfectly at 630 and sold it right back down. And you can see some initial selling. So we could see 40, like Smith said. We could. Actually, that's the wrong length the measure. We could see it. Yeah, like 650. Yeah, I think that's probably where. I'll keep it where it's at. 645. I think that's good for that last target. I mean, we could see a move up all the way back up to last week's close. We could, but I'm gonna just play it safe and just take it off at 640. I don't like the 200 EMA sitting above price. So when I see that, I don't play around with that. I've lost a lot of money playing around with that 200 EMA. And so now, I mean, it's earned my respect. It's gotten in the way with me making a lot of money. So shit, I have no choice but to respect it. And you should too. It's that 21 EMA, that 50 EMA, and that almighty 200. Sometimes I would actually use the 200 EMA over VWAP at time. That's just how reliable and consistent the 200 EMA is. I mean, you can look at it in the past and see how the market reacts to it once it gets there. You don't see price going too far from it. Turn this off again. If you look, you can see that the market just loves this 200 EMA. Perfect bounce off of it. You got a kind of the break of it, but it still respects it. And once it finally breaks that 200 EMA, you can see the power that comes from it. So I respect the 200 EMA because it's consistent. And I don't like the 200 EMA sitting above price. And that's kind of why I was kind of concerned about this long. But I do think that we can probably pull back up potentially at least 630, maybe 620, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, it's Tony. Yeah, I think so too. So Steven says if you're looking for what 610, you'd be looking for 630s. Yeah, I think so too, man. As long as we get a pop here and they hold, I mean, as long as they hold this area, then I'm confident. I mean, as long as they hold this, as long as they hold this right here, I'm confident. What I don't want to see is this, exactly this right here. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because that could be, we'll see. I don't want to see that. All right. So Michael asks, says more ticks. No, so again, tick charts is based off of volume. So, um, if the tick charts are confusing, the minute chart is a great alternative. Uh, let me just showcase that real quick. The minute chart is a great alternative to if the ticks are just too complicated. Because I mean, like I said, it's based on volume. So if you're trading a high volume instrument, then it will kind of be better to have like a higher tick count because it's going to be a lot of volume. Each candle represents, like for a 900 tick chart, each candle represents 900 transactions to the up or downside. Like for gold and crude, I usually don't. So for gold, I like to trade with the 100 tick chart because of just the low volume. It's gold has low volume. Uh, ES, I like to trade 1,000 tick chart on both the mini and or the micro and the mini. It's low volume. It's not a high volume instrument. It's very stable. The Nasdaq will always have more volume than both the mini Nasdaq and the mini and micro ES. You can see that the mini and micro ES are kind of neck and neck. In my opinion, I really, I mean, unless you have a very small account. If you have $1,000 account, then trading micros on the ES makes sense. You shouldn't be trading 10 micros on the ES if you have $1,000 account. Maybe five at the most, three at the minimum. If you have a small account, micro ES is where you should be. If you have a decent size account, maybe a $5,000 account, 2,500 maybe, then yeah. In my opinion, you shouldn't really be trading the micro ES. The reason why I say that is because you have so much room for error. It doesn't move that much, and she's a size queen. If you want to make money on the ES, you need size. Uh, with one contract, you can literally have a 11-point stop, and your loss is $500. I take advantage of this at times. If I just need a quick win, I will put a 1-to-1 target, 11-point target, 11-point stop, and I'm getting in that support. So I mean, even if there is a little bit of volatility that day, price is going nowhere near my stop. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, I just had to make sure because it's like 10 o'clock at night, 9:30 at night, and somebody's grilling. I was like, what the hell? Just had to make sure that none of them was burning. Anyway, so yeah, so with the ES, so we trade the we did and we do trade the ES sometimes, but oh yeah, this is a minute chart on the Nasdaq, and you can kind of see it's very similar to a tick chart, but like I said, uh, yeah, maybe like a minute chart, 3 minute chart. This looks good. This looks good. But anyway, kind of going back to what I was saying before. Looks like there is kind of a little bit of that candle high right there is at 610, but I think I think we should at least get that first one because it does look like it's holding. Anyway, uh, if you're gonna trade size with ES, um, a a 6 point stop is probably all you need. I know that a lot of people have a 1 point stop, which is kind of crazy in my opinion, but you'll get stopped out a lot on the ES with a 1 point stop. You can tick perfect entries. You can. Not saying that that's not possible, but being able to stay in a trade with the ES because it kind of does like to come back to your break even a lot. Uh, the ES likes to range and then break out. And you can get ticked out of a trade and then have it go in your direction if you don't give it enough room to do what it needs to do. But I mean, a lot of people have found success with 1-2 point on ES with size. Um, I'll take the loss because I'm not going to accept it ticking me out. And then you see a big bullish engulfing candle like this, and then you got to chase it to get in. So I'll just take the loss. And 10 point on a 10 lot is 5K, which honestly, again, I mean, you need so much size to make money on ES. That's why I just can't take it seriously because I can make so much more money on the Nasdaq with the 5 lot. I mean, yeah, she has to move for further, but how fast she moves, I can make way more money with a 10 lot on the Nasdaq than a 10 lot on the ES. So ES is definitely for if you want a slower market, and if you're not if it doesn't bother you just to make pennies on the dollar, I guess if it doesn't bother you, because you can make obviously way more on the Nasdaq, but it comes with a cost. Obviously, it's as fast as you can make that money on Nasdaq, she will take it away. She is a goddess. She requires sacrifice. She requires sacrifice. She will snatch up your account. And I mean, that's just one of the things about the Nasdaq. She will take a month's of work. I mean, you can build an account up for a month, have consistency, just have one bad day, and she'll snatch your account away. It's hard to lose your account on the ES. I mean, if you're trading outside of if you're trading the ES the way that you need to be trading her, which is on the edge, and stay away from the middle, then you should never be losing your account on the ES. You really shouldn't. You don't trade the middle on the ES. What makes the Nasdaq dangerous is because you can get away with trading in the middle. The middle is that neutral zone where liquidity is being exchanged back and forth between market participants. And obviously, the edges will be your supply and your resistance. And you can get away with trading the middle in that neutral zone with the Nasdaq. And that's another thing that makes her dangerous because you can do it. And if you get caught up in a like for those that kind of got caught up in this bullish engulfing, because I was watching this candle. I was watching this candle, and that's when I went short up here at 622 because I was watching it and I was like, that bullish engulfing candle caught people. And I know it did because I almost disregarded what was on the chart earlier today and almost went long. I was like, well, shit, that looks like a short, but damn, that was a lot of bullishness in that candle. But then I was like, no. I mean, with this breaker structure right here, this move down, this is just rebalancing the passive sell limits that didn't get filled the first time. That's all that was. And then once I saw that rejection, that wick right there, that's when I went short at 622. But that's what makes the Nasdaq dangerous is because she'll catch you like that. The ES won't do that. The ES won't lie to you. If you reference the ES before you take a Nasdaq trade, it'll kind of save you from a lot of mistakes. It will save you. The ES will save you from a lot of mistakes on the Nasdaq because if the ES ain't ready to go, then the Nasdaq is not ready to go either. She won't lie to you. All right, let me get something. He says JD says he's opened up his first prop account from your suggestion. Honestly, I should do better with that. No, actually, I don't. I don't. But I guess I should. Like I said last week, I don't necessarily care to promote. I don't want to be an affiliate, but at the same time, it is a part of this game, and it does. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess I'll make a point to do that. You're doing elite fitters, 48 minis, 5 seconds. He says so. Crypto 101 says that do I trade with volume? Well, technically, yeah. I trade tick charts, and they're based on volume. So, um, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like this. Because if it's not going to go up, then that means it's going to go down. Maybe I should have took my profits, or this is what I'll do. Like I said, I'm going to reduce my risk on this. I'll probably give it 97. I'll give it, well, hmm. Hmm. Well, okay. So let me just look at this. We are in low volume, so I will say that there's a lot of liquidity at 19.9, which would be absolutely crazy if we, you know what, man? Shit, 19.9. I mean, that might be a spoof if there ever was a spoof, but shit. Hmm. Having a contract running from, I mean, we'll see. 19.9. I mean, I doubt it, but all right, let's look at this. Let's just look at the charts a little bit. So we got that. Did we ever retest this area? We did. We got that to crash down. Hmm. Yeah, crypto. I would agree with you. I'm not saying that that I'm not. I'm not saying that. That's why I'm kind of being cautious in this trade right now, because it doesn't look like the bulls are in control. But this is a this is a risk to reward trade. It bounced off of that trend line, and it could be trying to come back up here and retest. Who the heck knows, man, with the Nasdaq sometimes. But the only reason why I moved my oh shit, they removed that liquidity. Mm. There was a bunch of liquidity up here at 19.9. That's why I moved it up there. But the one thing that I do know, and this is the only reason why I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Uh, this week is OPEX, or is it quad witching, or OPEX is one of the things. We have FOMC this week. We have, I mean, actually, let's go over the news real quick. We have a lot going on this week. We have a lot going on. So we're going to see a lot of craziness. And that's what I'm expecting. I think technical analysis this week may get you in trouble this week, because the market is going to be looking to get somewhere this week. I mean, right now, the only information that I got is that the June contract is all the way up here at, it reached a high of 19,893. Right now it's trading at 19.8. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. The June and March contracts will catch up with each other. They will catch up. Before this contract expire, it will be close to the June contract. That's how that shit works. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I mean, like I said, we got a lot going on this week. All right, so we really don't have anything for tomorrow. We have retail sales, some housing news, but we have the Empire State Manufacturing Index for March. But Tuesday is where it was when the fun starts. That's when the fun starts. We got some more housing news on Tuesday. Okay, this thing's gonna. The fuck? All right, man. You know, sometimes I just hate this site. Like sometimes I do, because it just with this lazy loading that they use, it's just so stupid. It just makes a lot of things glitch because the site is very lazy, and programmers know exactly what I'm talking about. It has a lot of lazy loading, which means that it doesn't load the assets until you scroll, and that's when it begins to load. That's why there's like a lot of lag here. But I like how it looks. It's clean, it's easy, but this lazy loading is kind of annoying sometimes. All right. All right. So yeah, so we got some housing news on Tuesday. Um, but the FOMC is on Wednesday. And then right after FOMC, we have more house. Damn, we have a lot of housing news this week. But obviously, the focus is on FOMC, and then we got quad witching. I just asked for a simple calendar, and this thing is giving me everything else except for what I asked for. Maybe I just put okay. All right, so here we go. So yeah, so March or not quite. What the hell? Yeah, so right there. So monthly expiring equities, monthly cash settled. So we got contracts expiring this Friday. Okay. I mean, we're still up on this position, and it does look like the bulls are holding. Okay, so yeah, it does look like the bulls are going to hold this. We should get this target filled. I like that this thing held this area right here. I'm liking that it held the trend line. That's what I'm looking for. I need this thing to hold this trend line, and we don't see a break from the trend line, because that break from the trend line would run the stops that's underneath it. So that's what I'm looking for. You think so? Yeah, Stony. Yeah, Yeah, so I don't know why the pre-market is addicting, but in actuality, uh I like to use, or before I became kind of addicted to pre-market for whatever crazy reason. Um the market sets itself up during these times. It sets itself up for London to take out the high or the low, and that kind of dictates the direction the market is going to go for the rest of the day. And that's how you should start looking at the market. Not you, but just generally. The pre-market is just to set it up, setting up the structure, because you're exactly right. That's exactly what it's doing. It's setting itself up. It's not like you can't make money from it. Obviously, you can. But if you want clean price action, letting it set up in the pre-market, coming in at London, trading that, seeing if they'll take out that high or the low, and then trade accordingly from there. I've come to find that the Nasdaq, the ES, I mean, as crazy as she is, she's not that crazy. I mean, she does the same thing in different ways. She does the same thing. She can be very simple to trade. It's just that if you get emotionally caught up, she'll get you. Kind of like how casinos get you. They give you a couple wins, and then they get you confident, and then they take it away. And then once you get emotionally involved, they don't. I mean, they know that you don't care if the deck is rigged. Not saying that it is, but they just know that you'll keep playing and chasing that win, chasing that P&L. And that's exactly how I feel that that's exactly how the Nasdaq is how she's engineered to execute on a daily basis. It's just to get you emotionally involved, emotionally caught up in chasing her. Because once you chase her, it's like let's just say that like for those that are chasing her right now, I mean, just imagine being up just with an entry at 608, 6010, and then as soon as you get in long, she's testing this trend line for like the 10th million time. And then she's playing with the bears too. Anybody that's still in the short, I mean, right now they're sweating. They're like, "Oh man, this thing is bouncing off the trend line," and they're just waiting for that break. And she's just playing with both sides of the market right now. If you're in long, because this is how I'm feeling, I feel like she's going to break this trend line. That's why I'm not putting too much risk on her. But if I just stay with the technicals, she's holding the trend line. So I shouldn't allow my emotions to get into this and just trade the charts. She hasn't broken this trend line. Now, if she breaks the trend line and closes underneath it, then that's when I should start managing this trade differently. But she has not done that yet. And that's just what the Nasdaq does: is get you emotionally involved, get you to make emotional decisions. And from those emotional decisions, you'll probably take a loss and you'll start chasing her, and you'll become a liquidity donation to the market. Mm. Probably like at 10:30 or something like that. Mhm. Oh crap! I didn't even. I don't think I showed y'all guys the CFTC data. Let me do that before. I mean, I'll stay on for like the next 10, 15 minutes. It is about 10 o'clock. We don't want to stay up and babysit this damn thing all night. I know I won't. I'll just leave my stop where it's at. And if I need to come back in tomorrow morning and get my money back, then that's what I'm willing to do. Damn, I'll be damned if I babysit this thing. All right, so we're getting the same data that we got last week. Now, last week suggested that. Where's my pen? All right, so last week suggested that the market was 57% long, and we were only 43% short last week. And obviously, we're getting the same data this week as well. About 57% long and 43% short, and about 18,000 contracts net long. We didn't see any bullishness until Friday. We saw some bounces, but we didn't really see a big rally until Friday. So, I mean, it was short for 4 days, and then we got this one big green day. So, all right. So, all right. So let's see if they're going to break this and we're going to get a close underneath this. And this is what I was concerned about with this trade. But we'll see if they actually close, because that's what's going to really signal that the bears are in control. If we get this nice strong close, then they're going to probably take out that low, and then I'll probably get stopped out of this. We'll see what happens here. And I think this is a good example of just not chasing the Nasdaq, because you don't want to be up here with her. You're long right there, and then you see this big red candle down. Look at that nasty candle. All right. I kind of figured that this would happen. I'm going to keep my stop where it's at. I'll just take the loss on this one. I'll just come back tomorrow and get the money back. In hindsight, what I probably should have done was, because I wasn't necessarily confident based on the structure of the market, what I should have did was just put my stop at break even +1. That's what I should have did. But we can get back a $500 loss, $600 loss. We can get that back. I'm not gonna cry about that. Hmm. Hmm. So I wonder if this was hmm. Wouldn't that be interesting? Hmm. Hmm. I mean, now the question is, do I let this position ride or should I just take the smaller loss? That's the question. We'll see how this next candle opens. We'll see. You got about 20 transactions left in this candle, so we'll see how it closes. Well, I mean, unless this candle turns and flips green, I mean, it's not necessarily a lot of room for bulls, though. I mean, it's not a lot of room. I mean, this candle has to kind of flip green right here. I mean, this next candle has to close kind of inside of this trend line. Good old look at my resistance acting as, or my break even acting as resistance. Man, this thing knows. Yeah, this thing knows, man. Yeah, it did all that moving and then it's stopped at my break even. Uh, uh, nice. I mean, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me that the Nasdaq just kind of knows where your break even's at. I mean, mind you, I really don't know why my break even would be resistance here, or it would be an area for the market to stop. I don't know why. I mean, if anything, I thought the market would potentially stop at least right here, but for whatever reason, they chose to stop it at my break even. The Nasdaq knows. So you're saying at the 21 EMA? On what chart did you trade on? Where's your 21 EMA? Mine is at 603 on me on the mini, and mine's is on the, or it's at 605 on the minis, and it's at 603 on the micros right now. Where's yours at? You said that's exactly, so where my break even is where the 21 is on your charts. Isn't that interesting? And let's look at the hourly real quick. I mean, oh, 590. I guess the market is trying to be at least merciful to me right now, but Mm. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't mind that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. She knows when you're about to touch your stop and put your stop in the break even. She knows. I should have been quicker than that, I guess. That's probably what the game she's playing right now. All right. I mean, if given the opportunity, I try to get a break even trade here. Maybe a little bit of profit. But she's acting up at my break even, so yeah, I'll just close this one. Come back tomorrow when there's more volume in the market. And all right. It's okay. What the hell did y'all see that? Huh, it made it, dude, it wicked all the way to 609. Or my bad, never mind. No, it didn't. My bad. It didn't do that. Or actually, hold on. Yeah, it did. Because this was a new candle. This was where they opened at. It did wick to like 609. Hold on, is this correct? It did? Okay. Because I'm looking at my hmm. Okay, because yeah, it did it here. But I'm looking at my micro chart. It didn't do it on the micros. Or maybe it did. Yeah, it didn't do it on the micros. It did it on the minis. It didn't do it on the micros. Is doing it now. We're getting it now, but we did not get that move on the micros at first. All right. Well, I mean, we're back in profit. I mean, and I mean, I guess they trap bears underneath that underneath this trend line right here. All right, maybe I should just keep this on since I mean we got price coming back in and trading above that trend line. I mean, it looks like there's a freaking wall right here. Maybe looks like it's a wall right there. Hmm. All right. But like I said, I'm not going to play these games with the Nasdaq tonight. I'm going to bed. But I would hate to close this thing and then this thing. Mm, it stopped at your 200 EMA. All right. So I'll give it 7 points of risk. I'll give this 7 points of risk, which I think this is what a $300 loss if I'm wrong, or $400 loss, 420. Hmm. All right. So Bandit Blitz says Dixie seeing some sell pressure. Hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Bandit Blitz. I think so. It would be nice if this thing keeps me in this trade. It'll be nice. So Jeff says ES is pulling back. Hmm. Hmm. 1 minute on that candle. Yeah. Hmm. You know what, man? Fine. I really don't even know where I had it at. I think I had it like right there or something. Damn, there's a lot of selling right there. So if we get above 610, there's definitely going to be a squeeze. We're definitely see a squeeze above 610. Hmm. Nice one, NQ. Nice. Nice one. Hmm. Maybe I should have took the profits. All right. So, I mean, let's see it. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if we get a nasty drop right here. I mean, the candle's not closed, but I mean, obviously that's selling. I mean, that's a nasty wick. You got wicks, wicks, wicks. I mean, if they drop this thing down again, then I don't think it will recover if it drops again. Because that means that the bulls failed to hold that trend line. And again, like I said, I really don't know why the market just loves my break even right now, but it's in love with it. Like it's stopping right at it. It's pausing. It's not doing anything. It's just, what are you gonna do? Hmm. All right, let me look at this real quick. All right, so let me look at an ES chart real quick and see it. Mm, uh. I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, the ES does not look like it wants to pop. It looks like it actually wants to continue and create a second leg to the downside. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I think so too. I'm looking at it now. Well, yeah, I don't think it recovers this time. Yeah, because yeah, ES. I mean, if it doesn't hold where it's at now, or if it doesn't hold 606, 605, then I don't even think 602 even holds, honestly. Shit, we'll definitely have price go underneath that. Because I mean, 602 doesn't even look like a strong low or nothing. It just looks like a low where the price just bounced. Mm, yeah, I mean, if it breaks that, if it touches 602, and then we can probably see a move down to like maybe like 590, maybe 585 if it touches 602. I don't think that holds. Just based on looking at it, it doesn't look like it'll hold if it touches it. Yeah, probably like 590. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if it runs 618, then I'm thinking like potentially maybe 625, maybe 635, 640, 635 to 640, 625 to 630. That's going to be the ranges that I'm going to be looking for if we see a green candle here. If we see a move to the upside, that's what I'll be looking at. 625 to 30, 635 to 40. Mm. I'll say, oh, okay. All right, so we're on the same wavelength with that. Yep. Okay. That's good to know when somebody else says it's almost the same thing as you. Yeah, those are the areas that I got on my chart that I'm looking at because, well, I don't want to put a ES chart on this thing. I don't want to move this. Well, mm, ugh. Yeah, like I said, the Nasdaq is holding this thing. So I mean, if this was a short, and I'm not saying that it can't be. I mean, that's not what I'm saying, but we know that what selling looks like. When we see price hovering, that just kind of tells me that this could be a potential trap. But I mean, if it stops you out, it doesn't even matter if it stops you out. But yeah, I think so too. So are you short the Nasdaq or are you short the ES? I'll give this position a couple more minutes and then I'll potentially close it out. Or man, the Nasdaq, man, she has such a power. The responsible thing would be to close this position out. But man, can she give you the hope to keep this thing open? I mean, the bulls are buying it, but the bears are knocking it down. The bears have the advantage here. The only thing that's keeping me in this trade is that just the lack of follow through from the bears. That's like the only thing that's keeping me in the trade right now. Is because every time the bears are trying to knock this thing down, the bulls are holding it and buying it back up. If the bears were in control, then they have no problem selling. The bears have already shown us that they have no problem selling this thing. I'm not going to give it too much risk, but if they were in control here, I mean, this thing would already been knocked down, but it's not. It's holding up. So that's the dilemma that's going through my mind right now. That's the dilemma. It's like, am I going to take a loss here or should I just hold out? But the bears should win this. I mean, the structure does suggest we should see a red candle down. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. Because I mean, shit. The one thing that the Nasdaq is not afraid to do is move. And if she's not moving, then that's usually a red flag for me. That I could potentially be on the wrong side of the market, or maybe I may be looking at it wrong. Like I said, if I get stopped out, then it doesn't matter. But for it to be holding this area, especially with the advantage that the Bears got, I mean, they broke the trend line. I mean, they're moving from this double top. You got this big move down. You got this double top. You got this big move down. They broke the trend line. And yet price is hovering right here. And that's what kind of gives me pause, is like, you know what, just be patient with this trade and they'll probably give me what I want. All right, so we did get that rejection from that trend line. These bears ain't playing. But the Nasdaq did give me 3 opportunities to get out, at least break even. I am counting the opportunities here. She gave me about 3 opportunities to get out. Hmm. Okay, so we'll see. Okay. Mm. So crypto says 586. Mm. So you think it's going to take out this low right here? Like I said, I'm looking at the ES right now, and this is why I don't trade her. And this is why I just can't trade ES anymore. If I had a live account, I would trade the ES. I wouldn't trade the Nasdaq with my own money unless I have a decent enough balance. I would start it off trading with the ES, and as I grow the account, uh, I would transition over to the micro Nasdaq. Damn the commissions at that point when it's my money. But with these prop firms, yeah, I ain't gonna do it. Mm. You said that I don't have drawn. I don't know if you can see this, but I do have the trend line right here. I don't know if you can see it though. You may not be able to see it, but I do have the trend line right here. So I'm well aware that they did break this trend line. You said there's a bearish one. Are you talking about like right here? You talk about that right there? You said below that. You said go under it to the lows. Okay, so you're talking about right here? And you said there's a bearish one? Man, I guess I don't. You said go back to the 315 candle. Oh, you talking about like right there? This is okay. So you're on the 15-minute. Okay, I was like, yeah, dude. I was gonna say I was gonna have to ask you to explain that one, but actually, let me just do that. I think that's probably what I should do. Because, like I said, I don't trade off of time-based charts. So the structure will definitely be different. All right, so this is a 15-minute chart. And okay, I can see what you're talking about. I can somewhat see what you're talking about. I mean, if we're going to, honestly, probably, let's see what that looks like. I guess it depends on how you want to draw. I think like that. I mean, look how far the last two 15 candles have stayed away. And you're talking about these two candles, right? You're talking about these two candles. That's the candles that you're talking about? You said draw it from the top of the early candle to the low of the 8 p.m. candle. So which candle specifically? You said at the bottom of the 8 o'clock one. So this will be the 8 o'clock candle right here. You said the bottom of the 8 o'clock candle? He says draw it from the top of the early candle to the low of the. So, oh, you're talking about this? Like that? Okay, so let's just be clear. Which candle are you starting the trend from? Because you're saying the bottom of the 8 o'clock candle. So this is the bottom. Which candle? So which time? What candle are you using it from? Last green hammer candle. And you're talking about like this. That's what you're talking about, like that. Huh. That's interesting. That is interesting. So I've never drawn my trend lines like this, but I can kind of see what you're talking about in terms of if it's going to test the trend line, then it's going to test this somewhere right here. So I can kind of see it, but I've never drawn it like this. Or let me rephrase that. I haven't done this in a while, but I would do something like this. Probably something like that, maybe. This will be the trend channel. It's been a while since I've traded a trend channel. I just okay. So I can kind of see what you're talking about. It makes sense now. And I believe that I got this trend channel drawn correctly because we're seeing rejections all at the top of it. And obviously, if I had drawn it from the bottom, so that's probably where it's at. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it respects it. We'll see. You said the gap fill? You said and it's respecting the fair value gap bullish. Mm. So if I'm familiar with how to draw, this would be the gap right there. That would be the gap. Okay, let's draw that. Let's color that so we can see it. All right, so we'll see if it respects it. All right, so we'll see if it respects it. Yeah, Tommy, and that's why I took the chance on the long because it's holding. That's why I took the chance on it, and that's why I didn't give it too much risk. Well, I mean, technically, I mean, I could have took the profits a long time ago. So I was kind of shooting for a higher, but uh, mm, I don't. Yeah, but it's definitely holding, man. No, you're definitely right about that. It is holding. That's why I took the chance on it. But okay, so this is what I'll do. I mean, I'll give this into the next 15 minutes. I'll sit here and watch it for the next 15 minutes. And if it doesn't do what I need it to do, if it doesn't stop me out before that, because now I kind of see it now, what potentially could happen here, because these trend lines are somewhat legit. I mean, they're super legit on the Nasdaq. I mean, I feel that if you trade just a trend line on your chart on the Nasdaq, you'll make so much money. You'll make so much just trading a trend line on the Nasdaq. and this is what I'm seeing. There's now the room to reject it. We got the breakout right here. If we see another pop right here, I mean, that's enough room right there. That's enough room for the bears to try to come back in and try to hold that. And then we could potentially see that candle that we're expecting. Because I mean, it's bearish. I mean, it's hard to say that it's not, but it's holding. So going short right now would make you a, like I said, but at the same time, we're in this neutral zone. So it's very easy to become liquidity in this area. But if you try to short this now as it's trying to, I guess, grab liquidity, you're just going to become liquidity yourself. So this is what I'll do in this trade. I'm going to give it 15 more minutes. Regardless of what it does, I mean, if we can make easier money in the morning, I'm not going to sit here and utilize a lot of mental resources when the market is not even moving. So if we get a push here, I'm going to move my stop to break even. I'm going to trail it. I'm going to pay attention to what it does at the top of this trend line. I'm going to pay attention to it because I think that's what's going to happen here. I think we're going to get a test at the top of that trend line and we're going to see a red candle because there's no room for bulls right now. There's really no room. I mean, unless we see like a super green candle, and we're talking about a super green candle like this, which is highly unlikely. There is no room for the bulls to pop up above this trend line, potentially pull back, and then keep going up. There's no room for them right now. There's room for the bears to come in and sell this damn thing at the top of it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to play this game with the Nasdaq tonight. We can make so much money in the morning. Yeah, I think so too, man. Yeah. Where you got your stop at? But then I'm looking at the damn freaking damn, look at that. I'm looking at book map right now and man, look at all that volume sitting at this area. But I'm gonna stick to my plan. I'm sticking to my plan. I'm gonna stick to it. I want to see what it does at 605. 605, 606, whatever. I'm gonna stick to it. All right. So all right. I mean, this is like the fourth opportunity the Nasdaq has given us. The Nasdaq has been very merciful to me tonight, giving me plenty of opportunities to get out and profit. She has been very merciful to me tonight. Hmm. He said there's no. Yeah. And you said the where's the 200 EMA on your chart right now? Yeah. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. Okay. So right, I'm gonna put my stop right there. I mean, if it comes back and stop me out, that's fine. I'm going to bed. We'll come back and get that money tomorrow. But we're at that trend line, and I'm just not gonna play with it. I'm just not gonna play with it because the bull's gonna need a big green candle to close right back above that trend line, and I'm not gonna sit and wait for it. Yeah, good play on that crypto. Yeah, let's see if this thing breaks, man. Let's see if it breaks. But I'm not playing with that trend line tonight. I'm going to take the mercy that the Nasdaq has given me tonight. I just hate the fact that I had to close my damn original short because I hit the maximum daily profit in that damn account. Man, I hate that so much. I hate when I have to close it out early. That's why I like the consistency rule and I hate it. The part of me that tells me that I can make as much money as possible hates it. What makes me love the consistency rule is that there's times where I get in my own way because I want to make as much money as possible and I don't ever take profits. I don't know when to take profits sometimes, especially when you're emotional. The NASDAQ is up 50, 60, 100, 200 points. You got 3 contracts, you're up about 10K. Dude, where do you take profits at, man? When is enough enough on the NASDAQ? Because you know she can keep going. And then if you get out and she still keeps going, you know you're going to jump back in. I want to make a little bit of money on this. And that's why I always trade accounts with consistency rules on it. So it's like, okay, I know where to get out at because if I'm left to my own devices, I'm going to try to get as much money as possible. You say you don't chase if you have a big room. Yeah, well, yeah. All right, cool. I hate to see that, but the NASDAQ did exactly what I thought it would do. Look at that. Look at that. It did exactly what I thought it would do. Mm. All right. That's fine. That's fine. We'll come back. We'll get the money tomorrow. That's fine. I'm not going to play around with this. I'm glad that I followed my plan. And I think if I'm going to take away anything tonight, I think that's the win tonight. We was up $700-800 tonight. I could have took the profits. I will be upset if I wake up tomorrow and see that the Nasdaq went without me. But it did exactly what I thought it would do. These trend lines are definitely legit. They don't lie. I'm just glad that I trusted it because look at it. It literally sold off like right there. Literally sold off at that trend line. Mm, 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 yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for me. We'll come back tomorrow morning. New York Open. We'll definitely make a lot of money tomorrow as we always do. You just gotta trust it, or at least I gotta trust the charts. I'm glad I trusted it this time because, uh, man, look at that. Look at that rejection. Man, it better not pop up, man. It better not. It better not pop up. Yeah. Crypto. Yeah, no. I don't do anything with the Discord at all. It's there. I just don't do anything with it. At least not right now. I don't. At least not right now. I don't do anything with it. But it is there. Cool. If you wanna You said Ace the Kid, TA on Twitch is good? Okay. I mean, crypto, if you want to drop a link, I mean, that's fine. I'll check you out. And you know what, Tommy? That's what I need to work on. That's what I got to work on. Not the discipline part, but the euphoria part. I think I have the discipline part down. It's just the euphoria part, the emotional hijacking is what I need to work on. I will blow up an account because I didn't get my way. I will do it. It's not ever fun, but I've done it. It ain't gonna be my last time doing it until. But I think I'm getting better. I think I'm getting better. I think I'm getting. You know what? See, look at that. Look at me. You know what? All right. I'm gonna call tonight a win. I'm gonna call tonight a win for sure. I'm gonna call tonight a win. This thing did exactly what I thought it would do. I did exactly what I said. I followed my plan instead of saying one thing and doing another. And it's doing exactly what I thought it'd do. Yeah, I'll call this a win. What I need to do is what I need to work on is when I see that I'm on the wrong side of the market, what I like to do is start hoping. And it's easy to do that on the Nasdaq. I don't do that on any other instrument except the Nasdaq. When I see that, well, I'm not necessarily ever on the wrong side with ES. It's kind of hard to be on the wrong side with her. I mean, she's kind of easy money. That's probably why they call her the ES. It stands for easy money. I really don't find myself on the wrong side on the ES because I only trade the edges. And I usually have a big enough stop to absorb any form of volatility, unless I'm trading her with size. And then obviously, I trade her with a tighter stop. But with the NASDAQ, if I see that I'm on the wrong side, I'll start hoping. And because, I mean, she can do it. I mean, you can get a random candle. You can get a random candle. And that's usually my downfall when I is hoping for that random candle that pops up, gets you a little bit of profit before it actually goes in its intended direction. But I have gotten a lot better with just accepting that, okay, I'm on the wrong side of the market. Just get out of the position and just reposition. Mm. Yeah, you think so? Yeah. Yeah, I'll check them out. And yeah, I definitely agree with you, Tommy. Like I said, the one thing I love about the ES is that she's just so easy to trade. It's the one thing that I just don't like about her is that there's just no money. It's just when I break it down, it's just I might as well just focus on the Nasdaq. But I love the simplicity of it. I do love just making the easy money on the ES. And I do utilize her when I just need easy money. But if I need to trade 10 contracts with the ES just to make decent money, then I can just hop over here on the Nasdaq and make more. Yeah, because I think what actually, I mean, I got the data written down. I think what really kind of did it with the ES for me was that I think that big day where the Nasdaq traded 885 points to the downside, the ES only traded 139, I think. And I was like, wow. I mean, I don't expect a big move from the ES, obviously, but just the profitability of just catching that $800 move or that 800 point move on the Nasdaq with one contract is literally more money catching the ES on 10 contracts. 885 on one contract is $17,000. It was like 139. What is it? 139 times 50. In order to catch up with that, you needed what? Times 3. You needed 2 or 3 contracts on the ES. All right, I would have got stopped out if I didn't listen to myself. I would have got stopped out. All right, I feel vindicated. I'm gonna call this a victory. If I did not listen to myself and listen to the charts, I would have got stopped out. Mm. GG's. GG's. Yeah. And yeah, me too, Tommy. Yeah. My win rate on the ES is definitely better on the Nasdaq for sure. That is absolutely for sure. And I have a higher win rate on the Nasdaq, but I'm a lot cleaner on the ES for sure. I just hate the fact that I gotta wait all day to just get for my target to get hit. I just hate that. Just hate it. I'm looking at the ES right now, and obviously the Nasdaq is moving a lot more than the ES right now, and the ES is not moving. I do expect for the ES to continue to drop, but it's not moving right now. It's just stuck right here at 609. But all right, guys. This when it's funded, I gotta go lowers. Yeah, and Tommy, yep. Yeah, I actually that was my original strategy as well. Honestly, I just recently switched that rule. My original strategy was get funded with the Nasdaq and just trade the ES to build the account. But the reason why I changed it, and I recently changed it, was because I felt like, yeah, I'm getting the wins, but I mean, shit, it was just this. I'm getting the wins, but I'm not growing my account at the pace that I want to grow it. So I think it was like what last month was when I was like, you know what, man, just trade the Nasdaq, man. I mean, just trade it the same way you trade the evals. I mean, I mean, it'll hurt if I blow an account, but just trade the Nasdaq the same way you trade her. Oh. Liking the results. So yeah, kind of going back to what we was talking about earlier. Yeah, just trade how you're comfortable. I mean, there's so many ways to make money in this market. But all right, guys, that's it for me tonight. We'll come back New York Open, and we'll definitely look for more ways to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night. Damn, you could have done 1,500 with 3 micros. Damn, on ES, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. But all right, guys, peace out.